Everyone, Amanda here with Moses and Me Card Company. Today we're going to create a Christmas card using some dynamics that I've received from MFT. These are new to me, and we are on a quest to use everything that I've got in my craft room that I have not touched. So this seemed like a good time to whip this out. This is the MFT Joy, Peace, Love Dynamics. We're also going to pull in the stitched tall triangle stack, as well as some of their basic stitched lines. And then, of course, I've used one of their background stamps. This is the Christmas greetings background. I also have some memory box holiday glitter paper. This is just really pretty glitter cardstock that we're going to use. And then last but not least, this stamp set from Queen & Company. This is from the Happy Holidays stamp set. They had a card kit that had these in here, so I pulled those in. And then, of course, we're also going to use the MFT Jalapeno Popper cardstock that is still on my desk from the card kit that I did from them. So I thought it was a pretty green that we could use for our tree. So let's get started.
Okay, starting off, we are going to use the MFT triangle, the tall triangle stacks dynamics, and I have cut that out of a A2 size panel out of Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. And then I am going to take a green piece of cardstock. This is actually MFT's prickly pear, not their jalapeno hopper. But I've taken some of that green cardstock and I'm just lining it on top of my front panel so that I can line up the tree, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. And you'll see that there is the stitch line around that tree that you can see through that panel. So that worked out really well. And of course, when I ran it through, it didn't actually cut completely through, so that panel is one piece, which was kind of nice. And I'm going to take this MFT Christmas greeting background stamp, and I'm going to stamp that on top of that green panel just to give it a little bit more interest. And I use some Hero Arts, I think this is unicorn ink. I'm just going to stamp that all over. Now I did my best to make sure that this was straight, and it looked straight here, but for some reason when I put it all together, there's something that is crooked on this card, and it kind of drives me a little bit nuts, but I guess I have to get over it because I went ahead and just assembled it and went on with my life. But something is askew, and it just is, I think it's the background stamp that is just a little bit off, but that's not a huge deal. So I'm taking my Desert Storm panel and I'm mounting it on some fun foam that I have in my stash, and you'll see that I went ahead and I stamped a sentiment on the bottom there in some, I think that's Wild Cherry MFT dye, or no, it's actually hybrid ink. And I really did like how that turned out, but I ended up in the end restamping that on a chocolate piece of cardstock, and then using the basic stitch lines to kind of cut that out, and that'll be what's on the bottom of that panel. I just think that that kind of looked a little bit better. It finished out the card just a little bit more, and I think it also made it look less crooked. I don't know. Maybe that's just my wishful thinking, but in any case, I'm adhering that fun foam panel on top of that green cardstock so that it's got a little bit of dimension, and then the Christmas tree is a little bit inlaid on the card. And I'm going to take the Joy, Peace, and Love Dynamics and some of that Memory Box shimmering cardstock, and I'm going to cut out a star to adorn the top of my tree. First, of course, I'm cutting away the excess around the edges. So here you can see I've cut out that little star, and it's in this really pretty, they've got like a champagne kind of gold color in that cardstock, which is really pretty. I really like that a lot. And initially, this was going to be what the card was. I thought maybe I could put some gems around the background and it would be done, but for some reason that just looked a little bare to me. And I had the joy or the joy cutout sitting there, and I just thought it was really pretty. So I went ahead and I cut out the peace and the love, and some more of that shimmering cardstock. And then I'm just going to mount the letters that sit on top of the Christmas tree in some fun foam so that they've got the same dimension that the other pieces on the card have. I didn't want it to have any kind of bumps or areas that were sagging. So I went ahead and mounted those on some fun foam as well, and then just cut off the excess so that everything is flush. I also kind of think this helps hide the fact that the background stamp is a little bit crooked. Kind of gives you something else to look at, something flashy. So those are the only letters I needed mounted, and I'm going to go ahead and place these on my card before adhering them down to make sure I put them where I want them. And there you have it, and you'll see there's that brown piece of cardstock that I restamped the sentiment with and heat embossed it using white embossing powder. And I'm taking the heart from the love, the O in love, and I'm going to put that on the inside of my card. The inside of the card is also from the Queen and Company Happy Holiday stamp set, and it just says sending Christmas blessings, which I really like, and I just really think that heart is cute. And then on the front it says, "It's not what's under the tree that matters, it's who's gathered around it." I really like that sentiment. I think that's a nice sentiment for the holidays. And then, of course, I took some of my Color Essentials Gold Mix Self Adhesive Gems by Spellbinders and just kind of scattered those around the card. These are also really pretty. They're another the mix has two colors of gold. One is that really shiny gold, and then this one, which is kind of more of that champagne gold, which I think is really pretty. And just kind of scattered those around and glued them down. Even though they're self-adhesive, I always like to make sure that they're not going to go anywhere. And I'm just checking to make sure that everything is straight. Even though the background isn't, I want to make sure the front is. And there you have it. There is card number 2 in our Christmas card series. I hope that you guys enjoyed and got inspired. Thank you so much, as always, for supporting me and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to our next card, which will hopefully be out next week. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Talk at you later.